Okay, so today we're going to learn the built-in return function in Python. So basically, the print function gives an output to the user. Print, then we're just going to save and then run this code. So if F5 doesn't work, you can just click this, then start debugging. If this ever pops up, just click yes. Then delete this. See? However, if you want something in the return function, it gives an output to the computer, not the user. So let's cook up something here. First, we'll take the input from the user. So with this means that it's trying to take the input. Basically, so if you want, you can add a new line function here so that it's cleaner. So save and then see, then it'll get the input. So for a little test, watch this. See? It didn't even do anything. So that means it isn't working. However, you could do something like this. Just do that and gotcha. So with this, that means it got an unexpected type error. To fix that, all we really need to do is just do this. Come on, run. Print out 5 there, and it gives us 5. The next thing we're gonna have to do is that we're going to make a working return function. So first, let's make a variable called answer, and then we'll input here. What is the number? New line character. Then we'll make another one. Answer equals integer. So like I said, this int function turns a value into an integer. Basically do something like this. Now with that, we can start coding. First, we're gonna make a function, a custom one, not a built-in one. Def add a b c. The terms a b c are called parameters, which are basically values passed in from variables. So first we'll do this. C is a variable, so this equals a plus b. Then we'll do something like this. If answer equals c colon, that's very important, then watch the spacing. Return Yay. And then add an else, return. Oh man. That's it. Now what's really different about the print and input, what's really different about the print and return is that there are no parentheses. If there is parentheses here, hold on, the whole thing would be invalid. Just watch. And that was a guess. Apparently, it didn't actually work because I still haven't called the value yet. So, what I'm gonna do is that we're gonna call it. Watch this. For 21, 25. Look how wrong this is gonna be. And that was a joke. That's because these parentheses don't actually matter, although they can matter. So, for example, you do something like this. That's it. That means you can actually do something like that. However, it's better to remove the parentheses unless you want something, do you know why it's better to remove the parentheses? It's because it's more standard. Like, not many people actually wrap parentheses around something like this in a return statement. So let's run it again. What is the number? If I guess 21, guess what I would get? See? This if statement is checking whether my answer is correct, which is why I added C, which stands for correct. Now, why is there so many spacing in here? Well, that's because spacing is absolutely crucial in Python. Let's look at this error. C, indentation error, expected an indented block after else statement on line 8. So we just gotta do that, something like that. Now, let's try it again. Let's try 55. And it didn't work. Try 25, which is the actual number. Yay! It's currently checking for this value. If it was something like this, hold on. If it was something like that, that would be ground out because it isn't used in anything. Like this. Now, if I tried checking C again, it didn't work. However, if I did the value of B, which is 21, hold on. Busted. Now let's revert this back to its original. And that's it for today. Now you can play with this. Now you can play with return statements, but there's one crucial thing that, needed in a return statement. If you just try to do that randomly. Why is the red squiggly lines? That's because return can be only used within a function. That means if it's in a function, then it'll work, and this is a function. However, if it's outside of a function, it won't actually work. That's it for today, and I'll see you in the next video.